It's your Sleepless God back with a new video of what if Midoriya was Big Chill. So last time we left off, it got a little emotional, I'm not gonna lie. But last time we left off, Midoriya and not Midoriya. Sorry. Percy and Annabeth. Percy and Annabeth were basically getting tested to see if they're like what type of are they gonna be class 1C, class 1B, class 1A. Most of them knew they were going to be high class B, maybe class 1A, but they didn't know how skilled they actually were to this point. And basically they showed them how they could protect people, save people's life, but also still do damage. And also it kind of showed that Percy has way more like aerodynamic skill. Like his speed, his speed is a little bit slower than it is actually a lot slower than Annabeth herself, but fucking his acrobatics and his just ability to go around corners and just trick people is incredible. And Annabeth, as I already said, is just incredibly fast. Her speed is incredible. Basically after that they basically wander the hallways trying to figure out like the fastest way to get to their room or not. Right after that, uh, basically all the teachers of 1A had a meeting, and they basically said, watching the video, saying, what is like what class are they going to be in? And all of them are basically voting like these are class 1A, and they basically said like to Aizawa like, and Aizawa was like, I want these guys in class 1A. I don't want these people anywhere else. I want them in class 1A. And to give a little bit of backstory before it's like a month before it's a month before the actual school testing starts, so it's a little bit it's in the 10 month, it's in like the 10-month training arc, roughly. That was it 10 a month or 8 month, it was roughly still in the 10-month training arc, so they still have a month left before school starts. So let's start the video. So now Percy and Annabeth are basically training most days now, but mostly Annabeth is training on how to become a lot faster, how to become more aerodynamic, and is basically building a suit over that. Now Percy is trying to figure out how he can do what he did before, because like when he stopped, basically when he became all red and just mad at the world, he didn't know how he became that. He didn't know how he did the stuff that he did, because now it's out of his reach. So he's basically trying to figure out by any means necessary how he became that powerful and how he became that strong, because he has no idea. Now now Aizawa was also helping them out a lot with this, because they're going to be a teacher. Aizawa was going to be their teacher, and they both know they're going to be in class 1A. They already got told. Now Aizawa is very much helping them become more powerful, helping them become more strong, and actually becoming more friends with them a little bit. Aizawa kind of realized that to keep on pushing them and keep them becoming them better, he has to get a connection with them. He has to figure out what makes them go faster, what makes them push harder. And he has realized through all of the stuff that he basically did, the only thing that pushes Midoriya and Annabeth and Percy, I need to say this, Annabeth and Percy, is the love for each other and the just caring about each other. Like, especially Percy. Annabeth has it too, but Percy is like almost like, if anything happens to Annabeth, anything in this world that happens to Annabeth, and Aizawa has been knowing this for a while now, but Percy's like, if anything happens to fucking Annabeth in this world, I will tear this fucking world apart. And fucking all the UA faculty doesn't know the lengths and bounds that Percy will do to literally get Annabeth back or have revenge on whoever hurt her or harmed her in any way possible. Now, it's around, let's say, it's around 2 weeks before UA starts getting open into an actual school. And Annabeth and Percy are talking, and Annabeth is basically saying to Percy, it's like, so when this UA thing starts happening, we go to school, and we're going to school full time. What should we do about talking about our relationship? Because in Annabeth's head, she wants this to be perfectly clear of what the fuck we're going to do. Because most of the UA faculty easily knows they're dating, or they're in that stage where they're like, most of the UA faculty know they're dating, and a lot of the UA faculty know what is happening in the bedroom most nights. Obviously, because when you walk in there and you see the entire walls frozen solid, like thick ice, and you know that no sound is going to pierce that ice, you kind of think to yourself, some shit's is happening in here where you need that level of thick ice. But and Percy's like, what do you mean the relationship? Well, Annabeth's like, well, do you want to announce it, or do you want just to keep it between us? And Percy just looks at her and just says, honestly, I just kind of want to keep it between us two. And because I'm not a jealous type, you know this. And you know that I love you to the world and back. So really, I don't tell a lot of people that we're in a relationship. If they find out, they find out. I don't care. We're not going to hide it or anything like that. But, if they don't ask questions, we don't answer them. As Annabeth fucking sighs, just like, oh, God, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. As Percy's like, what do you mean? He's like, because I was going to say the exact same shit. Annabeth just, looks at him in the eyes and says, that's what I exactly was going to say. And I'm loving that you said that, but remember, I know that you love me that much, but you can't just, you're overprotective in that way. And Percy's like, overprotected? What the fuck? You almost freezed Present Mike for touching me on my shoulder. As Percy's like, well, that was an accidentary cause. I thought that he was a villain or something. He's in the most shiny hero costume and yells at the top of his lungs at every single volume and everywhere he goes. As Percy's just like, yeah, but okay, understandable. I am a little bit overprotective. As Annabeth says, gosh. But you can't, as Percy looks at you, but you can't say that you're not overprotected too. What do you, as Annabeth looks at him, is like, what the fuck do you mean overprotective? I let you, as he started thinking back, and it's like, when did I, she's like, she's trying to slow her down. Like, when did I ever try to freak out on you for some girl? As Percy looks at her and smiles, and he can see the smile a little bit, the smirk, and she's like, night eye doesn't count. She's literally dressed as a stripper. She didn't even touch me. President Mike at least touched you. She didn't touch me. She was near the area. You almost, it's like Percy's like, yes, she was, but she never touched me. Okay, okay, name one other. One other. Uh, as Percy is like, there's like 7 others. Okay, what others? That machine girl that I asked was what you were talking about, and I entered the room for lunch, and she accidentally like touched my shoulder. You almost killed her. I think. I think you gave her like second degree, like not second degree frostbite. I hope not. Like no, I didn't do that. Okay, what others did I do? You said 7. That's only like 2. It's like the girl that can make herself ginormous. She was talking to me about my quirk and stuff like that, and I don't know what she was talking about in the first place. I don't have one. And you almost... I saw your eyes. You almost strangled her. But I didn't. You can only name one scenario where I freaked out. I can name multiple others. So, why don't we both agree and in every sense of the word, when this stuff happens, we start going to UA. We don't go overprotective or anything like that. We try to talk to, like, I will try to talk to less girls, and I don't know about you, like, as Annabeth said, I don't care if you talk to girls. I know you love me very much. Just, if any of them, if anyone starts flirting with you, I need you to understand that I might kill them. Maybe freeze them. As Percy's like, and you also have to give me the agreement that if any guy starts talking to you in a flirtatious manner, that I am able to chuck him off the roof and freeze him and almost kill him. As both of them like look at each other and smile and shake hands and fucking say, agreed, as they both like say, but how are we going to explain the look-alike thing? Oh, well, I don't, we could say that, well, we can't really say we're related or anything like that. I don't know, if anyone asks, you just say that, I don't know, that I guess we have similar quirks or anything like that. But I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna explain that. Me either, really, because there's nothing like. Usually, you don't ever get similar quirks, like ever, because if you do, you're gonna be like related to the subject or like related to the person. So we can't say that, because if someone's like, "Oh, you guys dating?" and we say yes, it's gonna be awkward. As Annabeth looks at him and says, well, we can say we have no idea and leave it up to that. Well, yep, we can do that. As you can kind of hear like both of them like sigh as he's like, a week left. Yep, a week left. As we go to a separate location. Now, this location hasn't been used in a while. Not like in the world, but we haven't talked about this in a while. We see what we believe is Percy's father. Now he is locked up into a cell almost. Now we see Percy's a very Round's 5'11", green hair, a little bit tinge in her eyes. Like a weird tinge in her eyes. Like they're almost red, but they're not red. They're not completely red. As we see Percy's dad, or technically Midoriya's dad and Midoriya's mom. Now Midoriya's mom is looking like she just basically brutalized Midoriya's dad. As you can see, all of his fingernails ripped off in the most brutalist way possible. Like, it seems like she didn't like try to piece them off slowly by slowly trying to cause the most pain. She just, out of anger, ripped them off. And slowly by slowly, this man has been broken. As you see, like, fingers snap in pieces. You see, like, toes and all that stuff. Because he is not wearing any shoes. Almost look like blue, and almost, like, some of them almost look like black, like bruised. As Inko, that's still her name. It's not the Inko we know and love from the show. It's fucking Inko, who will bust you. Says with a hammer in, like, almost like a drill in her hand. She says, "Where in the fuck is my son?" As she, as Deku's. I'm just gonna call him Deku. If I'm talking to him like in the storyline and like we're actually talking where he's actually here, he'd be called Percy. But if we're talking about him like out of context, like his family and stuff like that, I'll name him Deku or Midoriya. But like, where in the fuck is Midoriya? As his dad, Midoriya's dad looks up and he says, "I don't know. I kicked him off a fucking hill. He crumbled down, and I didn't see him after that." And you see, like, Midoriya's, you see Inko starts rumming the drill. He says, "Where the fuck where the hill that you kicked him off?" As you see Midoriya, as Inko puts the fucking drill to his knee, as he says, Blood Hill. You know, right by where we used to camp. Remember when we were kids, and when we visited there when we were a little bit older, where we first made out." And as she starts drilling slowly, and says, "You mention anything," as he starts drilling just a little bit quicker, as it's like not even going to his knee, but just breaking the skin, as he's like, "You say anything about our past, and I will fucking kill you with a fucking drill." As she takes out the knee, as you can see, like a little bit of blood at the very top. As she puts the drill away, she puts all her stuff away, and she takes off almost like this like kitchen robe kind of thing. It's like it's basically covered in blood. It's basically like almost like an artisan and stuff like almost like that, like a cooking thing to like save her from all the blood and stuff that's been spilling out. As she walks out, as she almost, there's like a bunch of other guys, as it seems like it's almost like an underground like hero organization that these like underground heroes and all that stuff, as all these people are like basically talking, and there's like other rooms that are like metal rooms that like you can hear screaming from, as one of them are like, as you see like one of the underground heroes like, "Oh, sorry, I forgot to close the window," as he like shuts like a metal window, as you don't hear the screaming no more, as like you see Inko walk up a flight of stairs, open the door, as you see at like this at the upper level there is almost like just a normal building. It has like multiple floors to it, as it seems like just a complex, just like a normal like almost like a normal like city complex, where it's like you have room after room after room, and a lot of these underground heroes lives in these rooms because this is basically where they work, and they basically like a minute to go to work, and they do what they need to do, and then they go home and they visit their families. So it's nothing like super annoying or anything like that. Now these are there's like multiple different underground heroes organizations, but this is one of them that is like a torture organization. Now you can see Inko walk up like a multiple flight of stairs, as He opens a room. As you see the still little girl who is taking a nap right now on the couch. As you see, like the little girl that we were talking about before. Sorry, this one came in. Uh, as there's like an older girl around the age of 16 to 15 years old, kind of tall, around 5'10" ish. She's a very tall for a woman. Average height for a woman is like, I don't know, like 5'6", I think. I don't know. As she just has straight black hair though. As you can see that her eyes are very similar to Inko's, but instead of like that dull red, it is bright red. As she's like, she fell asleep. As Inko looks at, I forgot the name of this character. She looks at Maddie. That's her name, Maddie. And she's like, you should sleep too, You've been training nonstop. As you can see, underneath, she's wearing like a short tank top and like kind of like short, like almost like basketball shorts. As you can see, like this layer of just muscle and just like almost like physical, just strength and just every bone in her body. As she can like, she can pick up a fucking car. And she's like, don't worry about it. As she's like, did he tell him where Midoriya is? He told me the basic location, but you should never worry about this. It's not your fault. He's like, it is. I saw him when he took him. It is my fault. As Inko looks at her and says, "You'll never stop blaming yourself, would you?" As Maddie looks at her and says, "Never, never will." And this is where we're ending it off. I hope you guys like it. This is actually kind of a long one, really. See you guys later. Blood for the blood gods.